guys, from Reader Racing with another tech spec, I guess. I want to talk about the XMaxx, one of the biggest upgrades I think you can do, other than that little putting that metal piece in there and putting bearings or bolts all the way through it, just to toughen up all the towers, which I've done in both sides. But that's not it. That's not the important one. What am I talking about? Great, I think that's probably the most important part of this truck. I mean, this thing is good, it's durable. Not really, it breaks a lot. I jumped too far, I guess. I don't know, it breaks all the time. I don't care what it says. Anyway, this is the biggest thing. Everybody breaks these pinions and the spur gears. And when that sits in there, as you can see, it has just two bearings and a cap that's holding those two little bearings sitting in there. That's all there is. And this thing is all their torque. Everything is being torqued on this, your cush drive and everything. But all that drive, and the only thing it's holding down is those two little bearings. I know people put metal ones on it, but I don't think that's solving the problem at all. The problem is the thing wobbles. And when it wobbles, if it wobbles and it spreads at the same time, yeah, it could do that. But here is what I think is the trick. Is GPM makes this shaft with this little cap bearing, and that little bearing sits right in there. And as you can see, I pointed it out, you can see that they made the mold for this piece to be in there. Okay, as you can see, this spot right here, it's hard to see, but there's an indent right there. Exactly what it's made for. It's made for a block and a bearing to sit right in there. They know that this is a bad part, this is a bad design, but they still refuse to fix it. GPM has fixed it. I think there's other brands too. But this now has three bearings that shaft is sitting on. It can't wobble. It's not going to split apart like they say. It may still because of the plastic. That may be true. But this is going to be solving most of your problems, I think, right here, by just having that in there when this here. So you got three bearings holding it down. I'll come back when I'll put it back together. Okay, well, once it's in there, it's a little tricky. You can see how the block is sitting there, oops, in there like that. There it is. And it's still tricky because you got to get all three of these bearings in at the same time. What you do, I think just the plastic cap is good enough. There you go. Go back in. Nice and it's still, something's a little still bent because there's just a slight, just a slight warp in it. Just a teeny, but it's not bad. But anyway, that's my tip for the day. Reader Racing Sunday tip. We'll just call that. How about that? Maybe someday I'll get the cap for that metal aluminum cover, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't even know how much they cost. Never even bothered. But anyway, there's my beast, if you wanted to see it. Got the Max 5. I set this up so you don't have to work. So when your batteries are in here, this is taped down. Whoops, it's not taped down right now. It's not. Anyway, this is just HDD. You just plug your wires in right there. And I got my what the hell? I got 1100 kV hobby wing in there. And with my fan business, it's just starting to get kind of bent up. I have to redo that. Still need to put one on here. Saves the fans from breaking. And like I said about over here, these metal, if you haven't seen, look up this part. You add this metal piece in here. I ended up just having to put two nuts in there to make a spacer, and then it's all bolted. So now this bolt is all hooked together.